Welcome to an interview with Petri Räisänen. I had this great opportunity to take part in a workshop with Petri in the most amazing school, Yoga Shala Cracow. Petri is a very experienced teacher, a healer, and humble human who it was a pleasure to be around. Enjoy! Petri, hello. Thank you so much for finding time to sit here with me and talk just a little
Thank
bit.
you. It's my pleasure.
I really appreciate that you come here and we had a chance to practice together for this couple of days. It was very deeply learning experience and enhancing a lot. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
You are very experienced in yoga practice. It is over 36 years, as I calculated for you. And I'm very curious if you could share how did your practice evolve over those years? Is it different than it was in the beginning?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because Ashtanga, as we know, Ashtanga is in that, like, if you want to make lots of progress and like read those like more advanced sequences, it requires lots of practice and lots of dedication. So like I was like many others. I used to play ice hockey. I was doing lots of different sports, and so my body was like, I never stretched the body, so my body was very, very stiff, and I didn't know anything about yoga. So all the yoga practice, philosophy, India, everything was completely new. So when I started from the really beginning, like couldn't even sit in a cross-legged position. Everything was stiff and everything was difficult and hard. But I just love it from the beginning. I thought that this is something what I really need, and I could feel that there is also not only that physical side, but there's something deeper, like that the practice is also about the mind and about the, I'm kind of spirit. Even I didn't think so much about the spirit, but still there's this feeling that, you can really go deep into the mind. And I was practicing in the beginning just once a week and twice a week, and then it started to be 6 times a week after maybe 3 years or something. And I started to make lots of progress, start to meet people, go to the workshops, go to India, practice with Patabi and Sarat for many years. And then I started to also be advanced practitioner after many, many years. And, feeling like the body became light and flexible and strong, and you like almost like flying. And some things were easy or became easy. We used to do lots of acrobatics. There was all this, like lots of handstands, and so it was very inspiring, interesting. And I had a family life also. My son was born in 1998, the first one. He's now 26 years old, and so I also know how the family life is effective for the practice, or how difficult it is to find the time and peace and space to keep doing, because you just can't think about yourself all the time. You have to also think about it. Okay, I have this family, and how to help the family. And so I had, like, in the physical, in this asana practice, my top moments, like when I was in the most advanced state, was somewhere in the beginning of 2000. And then, I also started to teach a lot. So teaching takes time and energy. So you have to think about how much you can do your own practice, that you can still have energy to teach and give for the people. And now, like, had 2 more children, 11-year-old now and 8-year-old, the boys. And so I had the second family life, which was, the same, like. So that's why there was that, like, in the asana side, there was this top moment somewhere like more than 20 years ago. And then just keep the practice and keep the, keep doing, because it feels good and it's good for the body and mind and all. But then I start to also focus for the teaching, I start to focus for the family life, I start to, like, you're giving so much out. You also do your own, but your own practice maybe not anymore like the main thing.
Yeah.
So you're kind of changing there's the teaching, giving, family, giving, try to have your own time as much you can. And you also, financially, you have to also stay balanced. So you have to also think, like, how much you work and, like, where's the balance in your life. But yeah, and now, of course, the practice is different when you're young and when you start to age. So now I'm still practicing. It feels good, but I'm not flying anymore like I used to. I don't do all the poses what I used to do. But still a little bit modifying something, still doing some acrobatics. Some things are much better than ever before. Like, for example, I start to do these very long headstands, and they really feel good. Not very long, I mean not hours, but like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I just, like, breathe deeply and meditate in the headstand. And this kind of thing is what I never did before, and it just feels really amazing to find something new.
Yeah.
So not making, like, so much progress in the, like getting into the next pose and 4th series and whatever, but more like inner progress and more peace and more listening and staying maybe longer in a pose, try to find some kind of balance in the pose. It doesn't have to be so deep, the pose, but just that you can breathe and be comfortable. That's progress also. It's a bit different.
Yeah, this is exactly what I felt today in the LED, when we were able to stay longer in the poses and really go deeper, feel the body, what's happening in the body, in the mind, and it was really enriching. Yeah. So over those years when there was a family life started and some changes in the body, did you find a moment when you got stuck or discouraged? Like, sometimes I face this time when, I have a little baby and I'm not sleeping, and sometimes it's just so hard to find the energy to, roll the mat. What would be your maybe advice for people who face moments like that?
Well, yeah, people get a little bit stuck into the practice, so because the practice can be quite, when you've been practicing and making lots of progress and there's this kind of rhythm, and then you have something which is disturbing that like a family life, which is a beautiful thing. But for the asana thing and all, like, of course, it makes a difference. So I just, this is the art of listening yourself and changing when things change. You know, we have to change and make it as smooth as possible in our mind. So like, if you have children, when you get older, when you have injuries, when you have some accidents, just try to listen, understand that, like, okay, now is different, and accept it and pay attention in the practice that, okay, now maybe I can't practice 6 times a week, I can practice only 3 times a week. I can't push anymore, I have to take it more easy. And just try to let the change happen naturally. And there's always something what you learn. If you don't learn the next pose, you maybe learn to give for your child. This is also yoga. There's so many things with yoga. We think that yoga is asana, but yoga is also like being with a child. Yoga is having a family, or yoga is listening yourself. Sometimes yoga means that you sleep and you don't go to practice. Yoga means that you like try to find a balance in your life and make it kind of smooth. So I think in Ashtanga, many times we kind of misunderstand the yoga, and we think the yoga is asana. But yoga is everything, what you're doing, how you do it. So it's like art of understanding the changes and make the changes as smooth as possible. And understanding that, there's always something good what the change also brings. Even that you have a child, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. The connection what you have with the child is maybe the deepest connection with anything you ever can have. Especially when you give milk for the child. That feeling of being like one is a samadhi. It's a samadhi state. And it might be the deepest sensation you ever have in your life. Much deeper than any pranayama or meditation or like anything. And it's very yoga. And just like surrendering for that moment, like, okay, now I'm one with my child. This is amazing. I feel it. Is also yoga. But Ashtangas sometimes get addicted to the asana practice and progression. And then they think that the family life is disturbing their life. Or something else disturbing their life. But you can always find that usually, even if you injure yourself and you cannot do asana, then you can do something else and make progress in some other. Maybe you can meditate, maybe you can do pranayama, maybe you can study something. And that is also important.
Yeah, right. Even if you don't have this 1 hour at least for the practice, right? When you have like 10, 15 minutes, what would you recommend to do?
Anything, just do it with the focused mind and peace. Anything, sun salutation, pranayama, just sitting in a lotus pose or something. But just do it with the mindfulness. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. The mind is important.
Yeah.
The mind is important. And then when you like in a family life, there will be time when you have more time again.
Yeah.
After maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years, and the child starts to be more independent. They might go to some place, play with somebody, so you can go to practice. It just takes maybe a few years. You have to completely surrender and give everything what you have. And then you can come back. And you can't have everything. Sometimes you have to okay, this is one kind of part of my life, and then you can come back afterwards. Coming back is of course difficult, but yeah, it's art of life. It's just to understand the changes and be optimistic and see the positive in a change. It's not easy because we get so addicted to we get so touched with what we're doing. But with the optimistic mind, you usually find something good.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for questions.